Hi, I'm Angelina Martella. I'm a rising senior at New York University, and I'm studying international relations in Mandarin. And I'm an IssueVoter fundraising team intern.
Hey, my name is Natalie, and I go to the University of Notre Dame, and I'm a rising sophomore studying political science and applied and computational mathematics and statistics. This summer, I'm working as a communications and design intern with IssueVoter. Today, Angelina and I are going to discuss the Disability Voting Rights Act, what it is, and both sides of the story. This first picture addresses the main problem this bill seeks to resolve. This bill promotes accessibility to voting for everyone. Unfortunately, there are many examples of how the current voting system is not upholding this equal accessibility. This bill was introduced in the House on March 6, 2019, by Representative Mary Gay Scanlon. It is a bill that would amend the Help America Vote Act of 2002. This bill plans to require every state to make sure that individuals with disabilities are able to register for absentee ballots and use them. There are four main parts of this plan. One is to increase security and privacy protection for those with disabilities. Another part would include naming one single office to be available to provide information for voters with disabilities. Not only this, but the bill would require the creation of online resources for voter registration and absentee voting for individuals with disabilities to further accessibility. In addition, the bill would ensure that applications made by individuals with disabilities are processed if they meet predetermined criteria and deadlines. Finally, the bill would permanently reauthorize and expand the Department of Health Services program that pays certain states and municipalities to provide adequate voting access to all individuals, regardless of their disability status. Representative Mary Gay Scanlon, the representative who introduced the bill in the House, commented on it and shared its importance. She said, "The Disability Voting Rights Act will ensure that states promote access to the ballot by making voter registration materials and polling places accessible for persons with disabilities. Our government only reflects the voices of the people when the people can be heard. This bill makes sure this fundamental right is accessible to all citizens." There are many reasons why this bill is important today. Even today, elections are inaccessible to many Americans. For instance, blind citizens are currently at a disadvantage when it comes to voting. Blind people cannot register to vote or for absentee ballots using paper forms, and they also do not have the same privacy when it comes to voting, as their paper absentee ballots cannot be completed independently. This is not just a problem for blind individuals, as elections are inaccessible to individuals with varying disabilities. It is estimated that 14.3 million citizens with disabilities voted in the 2018 election. Unfortunately, only 17% of polling places were completely accessible in 2016, according to the Government Accountability Office. Also, many older Americans face difficulties voting for various reasons. Three main difficulties are mobility, transportation to polling places, and inaccessibility to polls. Furthermore, 36 million Americans are at least 65 years old, and 18 million of them need assistance with some of their daily activities. Therefore, many people believe that changes must be made to decrease the burden of voting, making it a fairer process.
So to transition to the motivation against the proposal, a lot of people fear that voting by mail could increase voter fraud. The thought process behind this is that someone else could influence a person that votes by mail's vote because they don't have the same privacy as they would in a polling booth. They also worry that they would not have to present their ID on election day, so it could be harder to verify whether their votes are legitimate. And then the resulting fear from that is that if fraudulent votes are cast, then the voice of Americans who voted truthfully could be diminished or even silenced. So even if this bill could benefit Americans with disabilities, the risk of increasing voter fraud can be seen as too significant. To transition into opponent and proponent viewpoints and some quotes to discuss those. The first one is a proponent viewpoint. And it says, with over 21% of Pennsylvanians living with a disability, the Disability Voting Rights Act will ensure that everyone who is able to vote can participate in our democracy. I'm grateful that Congresswoman Scanlon has taken the lead on this important issue to not only Pennsylvanians, but the country. This is from Governor Tom Wolf. And as an opponent viewpoint from State Senator Dewey Strobel, it is Republicans are serious about restoring faith and trust in our elections. So-called ballot harvesting should never be allowed, regardless of the political party doing it. And now just to summarize the proponent and opponent viewpoints, proponents say that this bill is a long overdue step in ensuring that all Americans are allowed a voice in their democracy, unrestricted by their disability status. Opponents worry that this bill could lead to increased election fraud, as voters with disabilities would not be required to attend in-person election sites with IDs to vote in federal office elections. And just to kind of take you into the picture, this is how this bill will soon be voted on. So now that you know the facts and controversies surrounding the Disability Voting Rights Act, it's time for you to take action. Visit IssueVoter to read more about the bill and tell your representatives whether you like it or not before they vote for free. Thank you so much.